I would say to any student that has a chance to apply for anything in their college, go for it. If you think you might have the slightest bit of interest, it is going to be so beneficial and great for your experience even at college, so grab everything you can. And if you can do it twice, do it. My name's Saoirse Cronin O'Reilly. I'm from Cremon Lower, Clorglin, County Kerry, and I'm a final year marine science student. So I've been in college for 4 years and I've just wrapped up this year, and I got to go out on the Celtic Explorer, and my final year project was based on the work we conducted out at sea.
I went on a cruise with Dr. Louise Alcock and a student in my class, Saoirse Cronin O'Reilly, in 2013. I went on a cruise for 3 weeks and I used it as part of my final year thesis.
The students that join our research on the ships, the Celtic Explorer and the Celtic Voyager, get their places through a competitive process. It's obviously very popular, the students wanting to come on the ship. So the only fair way that we can allocate places is to ask them to submit a CV to us and tell us why we should take them.
I think most people in the class applied, so it was very competitive, and I was really happy to get it. So it was nerve-wracking, but got there.
We were told about it in the lecture. I remember the lecture specifically where I was sitting, everything about it. I was so excited to hear this news. And Louise Alcock, one of our lecturers, just came in and said she has 4 berth places on 2 different cruises running through the summer.
So they apply for the cruise in their 3rd year, and the cruise will take place in the summer between their 3rd year and their 4th year. And so during that time they collect the data that they need for their 4th year project, maybe the samples as well, and they'll bring the data and the samples back to the lab in September when semester starts, and that will form the basis of their 4th year project.
The cruise in the Celtic Voyager was for 1 week, and it was in the Kerry Shoals, so that's an area off the Dingle Peninsula in Kerry, and it's never really been investigated before. They noticed during a survey in 2007 that there were different glacial features present, and so what we were looking at was trying to kind of see if the benthic assemblages living along the bottom of the seabed were different because of those features, because no one had looked at those before. So a week off the coast of Kerry, taking grab samples and dredging along the seabed.
The cruise I was chosen for was a 3-week-long cruise, exactly 21 days, and it was on the Celtic Explorer. And this was an completely offshore cruise, so we were going out sampling 2 deep-sea canyon systems, which are about 300 miles offshore, so didn't see land, didn't see trees for the whole time we're out there. And these canyon systems are really like an area of interest at the moment because they're areas of really productive regions, whereas like the surrounding areas might be completely barren lands, but these areas are supporting like high levels of growth of corals, of crinoids, a huge amount of swarms of plankton and stuff. It's a mad the amount of animals that live out there.
A typical day for the students will almost certainly be based around shift work. So we conduct 24-hour operations on the ship because it costs so much to run the ship. It would be totally inefficient if you didn't use it 24 hours round. So mostly the students will either work a 12-hour shift or they'll work 2 6-hour shifts during the day. And this will then revolve around normal ship's life. One of the funniest things about a ship is that you seem to never stop eating. So Phelan, one of our students from last year, was famous for the size of the breakfast he had every morning.
How do we spend our day? Well, we didn't sleep much. We didn't really have a day. We basically had some hours that we were awake and some that we were asleep. So we had 6 hours on, 6 hours off. And depending on what the machinery is doing at the time, there could be someone measuring the water column properties, or the ROV could be down sampling the seabed. So depending on whether it's your shift or not, you could be up taking the samples of the different species that were picked off the bottom. You could be identifying them, labelling them and putting them in bags to be sealed to be preserved for further analysis back on the shore.
The beauty of the undergraduate projects is that they're very open-minded, and we therefore try to give them the possibility to use as much equipment as possible. They can be taught to drive the CTD, they can come and work in the control shack of the ROV, Obviously, the ROV is driven itself by pilots, but they can come and interact with the pilots and ask for them to collect things. They will process the catches when they come up on deck. They will help with the data, with dealing with the very large amount of video media that we have. So basically, we try to get them as heavily involved in every aspect of the cruise as we can.
I wasn't sure how I was going to react to being on a boat, especially for 3 weeks. We had done a couple of cruises with the course, two, one in second year and one in third year, and I liked them. They were day cruises, but I couldn't have really imagined staying on a boat for longer. So I was kind of apprehensive about going out to sea for 3 weeks, but I just kind of went for it, and it turned out to be something I absolutely loved, and I would have regretted not applying for it.
I absolutely loved it. I was probably in my element, excuse the pun. I made so many friends. I recently ran into one of the scientists that was working on the night shift. So we worked from 12 to 6. So we 6 hours on and six hours off, and we just, you just bond and you meet these people who are interested in the exact same things as you. So it's an opportunity to expand your knowledge and get to see what their areas of interest are. So you're completely growing the whole time you're out there and coming into contact with animals you've never seen before. A lot of people in the world haven't seen them before. You're the first people to set eyes on this, and it was really great experience to know that you were alone, one of those people that was helping this happen.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. It was great to learn more sampling techniques and how to sort through the samples and what are the best methods of preserving them. And then it was also a great help for my zoology of actually seeing some of the stuff that I had learned. So I actually got to see what different animals looked like and different species. So it made me much better able to kind of distinguish between them once I got back. So it kind of really reinforced the learning that we had done in lectures.
So last year was the first year that we attempted this. We had some reservations and some hopes. Our reservations were unfounded. The students that we took were absolutely excellent. They were a complete credit to NUI Galway, and they were a fantastic help during the cruise as well. The students, I think, got a lot out of it. One thing that was very noticeable is that when they started their fourth year projects, they were the most enthusiastic and hardworking cohort of students that I had ever had. To a certain degree, this is because there was a selective process to take them. However, I've had good students in the past, and I think there was an added benefit to the students. They had been really excited by marine science.